Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow. It is an amazing morning. Yesterday, it was all sunny and blue skies and nice. And you come out this morning and you've got this heavy mist that's kind of just falling down all over the place. But interestingly enough, it is not cold. It's actually quite a warm mist. So it's really quite interesting. And of course, the weekend, bang, lickety split, it's over. You work the whole week for the weekend. I think there used to be a song. I'm not sure if it was Loverboy or one of those bands, and everybody's working for the weekend. Remember that one? I don't know. But anyway, you get the Friday, TGIF, right? And you're just looking forward to it. And before you know it, wow, it is Monday morning all over again. So, and hey, I like Mondays, start of a brand new week. Well, guys, this morning I was reading two articles, and one of them is kind of very disconcerting, and the other one kind of goes along with it, but a little bit different. So in the first article that I was reading, it was reporting that it's a 40-year high in terms of prices for gas, groceries, rent, and utilities, and on and on and on. And it was sharing in this article that a lot of average Americans are out there working two jobs to kind of make it. And on top of that, some of them, even though they are working those two jobs, are stuck in minimum wage on both jobs. And as a result, are going down to the blood bank and they're selling their plasma. Now, that is like serious kind of like situation when they're sucking the blood right out of you. And you're having to, go down and sell your plasma to the blood bank just to make it. And this was not a small number of people that it was reporting on. It seemed to be quite a large number of people are doing this. And you can see how the government is just in this economy is just going nuts. And they're allowing this inflation to get run away. They say, oh, we're trying to curb it with all. That is nothing. You're not going to get anywhere with these small interest rate raises. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, 75 basis points. What you're talking about there is 0.75. That's not even 1% raise. And in order to really deal with this inflation, you'd probably have to see literally up in the 18 to 22% on interest rates to combat the inflation that we're dealing with. Now, those of us that lived through the late 70s and the 80s there, we know what that's like because we experienced that when we were on that major inflation thing here. But what this government is doing is they rolled out and printed off a tremendous amount of debt during that whole seed dump, knowing very well that there was going to be an inflationary result. And their attitude is, oh, well, we'll just inflate the debt away. Now, what they're doing when they do that, they are literally destroying your purchasing power, and it is genuinely a hidden form of taxation. And they're literally reaching into your pocket and literally robbing you of your income, so much so that folks can't even make it on two jobs. They're having to actually go out there and sell their blood to make it. That is insane. Now, the second article, certainly it's related to the first, it was talking about the average debt load for most Americans. So the average debt load right now is about 25,000 plus bucks on unsecured debt, credit card debt. We're not even talking vehicles or mortgages or furniture loans or any of that. This is just sheer credit card debt. Now, on top of that, it's reported that, just about half the population of the average folks in the United States could not afford a $1,000 crisis. So if their transmission went out, or their washing machine broke, or something like that, or the kids fell down and needed a dental emergency, all of that kind of stuff, they couldn't afford to pay it and would have to rack up even more debt. And of course, people have dwindled their savings away in this circumstance, and now they are using their credit cards just to make it. And it is a very, very, very scary situation for a lot of folks. So when you hear these politicians come on and they get up on these podiums and they make these statements like, well, it's really going to hurt. You're sorry to say, but it's really going to hurt. And with such little compassion for what the average person is going through. It is truly mind-boggling. I mean, you had Biden out there trying to negotiate with the Saudis to keep the gas price low until after the election. That is just unbelievable. But that's the kind of stuff that goes on because what's most important to them? It's being in control. It's sitting in these seats of power. It's absolutely ridiculous, especially when you see people genuinely hurting like that. Man. It's one of those situations where I sure hope to see. Now, today is election day in the United States, so who knows? We're going to find out what's going to happen here. But I sure hope that whoever gets into office, that they get in to do the job that they were elected to do, and that is represent the people. I mean, I am just so tired of this whole patting my own pockets, doing this, doing that, schmoozing and all this kind of stuff. And it just seems like it's a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with really representing the people. It more has to do with almost like a high school election for the prom queen and the prom king or something like that, and it's just a big popularity contest, and it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, don't the egos of some of these people, that have been stroked long enough, in my opinion, and we really need to get down to brass tacks. And I think the more and more this goes on, you're going to see folks rise up in all of our democratic countries, UK, Australia, Canada, all of that kind of stuff, and of course in America here, and they are just going to have enough of it, and to the point where they say, look, it is time for a wholesale sweep. And boy, that's going to take these big time politicians who have literally been in office practically a lifetime, some of them 40, almost 50 years, if you can believe it, so much so that they actually think that they can bequeath these positions to their own children. It is getting ridiculous, but that's the way it seems to be going. And you know what? The only way that that's going to stop is when we, the people, actually stand up and truly stop it. Because I was reading a comment of one of my folks there, and he says, do you think that these people are going to allow us to do this and this? And I said, hey, right there, they've already got you conditioned that you need their permission. They need to allow you to do such and such and thus and so. No, in these democratic economies, it's we, the people, that actually put them in office. They work for us. We're not supposed to be working for them. They're supposed to be representing what we want, what kind of country we're wanting to actually see and build. But that's not what's happening. They're putting it through their agenda, and they get in power, and all they do is just pad their own seats. All this kind of stuff that's going on. It's really, really, really sad, because we have fallen so far from the ideals that actually establish these nations all around. Anyway, I just can't take it. I could get real riled up. Well, guys, I sure hope you did have a good weekend, and I really have hope you have a great week ahead of us. And listen, I've got an amazing video coming out later on this afternoon for us. And until then, guys, I sure hope you have a great day, and take care.